In this video, as you can probably see in the title, I want to talk about how to bounce back from a breakup, specifically a relationship breakup. So if you're watching this, you've probably had a partner, a girlfriend, boyfriend, or maybe even like a spouse or a husband, and they weren't the one. And for whatever reason, you're separated. And going through that period, that separation, is tough. And maybe you feel like you've overcome that, or maybe you still feel like you're holding on to that. And if that's you, this video may be of value to you. Or you may have gone through a very recent separation, and essentially you are in the thick of it right now. And if you are, and if you're really feeling like what's happened to you, the separation is holding you back, you're still holding on to the past, onto how things could have been, and you sort of wish they were like this, but it's not going to happen anymore because you're separated, this video is for you. And if you've never been in a relationship, or maybe you're in a relationship, but you're getting these senses that I'm kind of staying here when I know deep down in my heart I shouldn't really be here, or this individual's not the one for me, you may want to save this video for later, because in this video what I want to do is I want to break it into two parts. And so I've already filmed a clip which I will film, which I'll put up later, which is basically just me on a whiteboard sharing exactly what I did when I experienced my breakup. And so the reason why I'm filming this is the first part of the video, which is sharing my story. And I too have gone through a relationship breakup. I've only been in one relationship in my life, and it was with an individual for 6 years. I met her in the UK, and she was Australian, she is Australian, and we had these incredible times, and she had to come back to Australia, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted to be with her, and I followed suit, and we traveled all over Australia and spent 6 years of our lives with each other pretty much every day. And one thing I want to preface is, firstly, I'm not going to get into massive specifics in this video, I think just out of respect for her. It's not the time or place really, but also I really just want to keep this high level and explain, fast forward to sort of at the end of the relationship really, because I want people to know that I know what it's like. I remember the date. I remember it was sort of just after COVID, the peak of it. It was the 3rd of March 2021, and sat me down, and I knew, it was like, we need to have a talk, and I knew it was the one. And we had the chat, and it's just not working. And I'm deliberately omitting a lot of details here, but essentially what I want to share is things weren't working out. We weren't meant to be. And I'm very grateful to her. One thing I want to express is my gratitude, because she had the courage to do what she did, have that hard conversation, because I did not have it at that point. I'm very grateful, because I think it was for the best for both of us. But she sat me down, we had the chat, and I basically said to her, I said, what have I got to do to change? What have I got to do to fix this? What can I do to make this work? I was like, can you give me some time? And can you just really think about this and think, what have I got to do to change? She goes, okay. So 2 days later, it was the 5th of March. We sit back down, and she says, there is nothing to change. There's nothing to fix, because you've done nothing wrong. We're just not meant to be. And that's the gist. Again, I'm not sharing all of it, but she had the courage to say that. And so that was the 5th. And on that day I was processing. I'm like, okay, this is happening. And, I was just like, what's really going on? Because it's like my whole world has shifted, and it didn't really process. It didn't really hit me, to be honest with you. When it really hit me was the next day. And that was the 6th of March. And because this is it. We've never had this conversation before. We knew it. This is it. And I was like, well, I've got to tell my family. And so I I called in order my dad, my mum, and my sister. And every single call, doing a FaceTime, hey, how are you? And I just lost it. I just was a wreck. And every single one of them knew. They're just like, they knew without me having to explain, like just the cries, and it's like, it's happened. And the 6th of March 21 was just the bottom, the absolute bottom, and I was just a wreck. And, you know, I've come all the way to Australia and spent every single day with this individual. And now what am I doing with my life? What am I going to do with my life? Like, what does my life look like? And the 7th of March, I basically did an exercise, which I'm going to share in the next clip in this video. And it really gave me immense clarity. It really made me, instead of dwelling on the past and what I've done or not done, and how things could have been, but, you know, well, it's not because of what I've done. Instead of dwelling on the past and having this fear and anxiety about the future, this exercise, which I'm going to share, it just really made me present, and it really helped me be grateful for what's happened and appreciate her and myself a lot more. And it also just made me be excited about the future. Not like elated, but just, I'm inspired for the next chapter. It felt like, you know, my life is a book, and, you know, this chapter has come to a close. It's like I flipped the page and it's the last page, you know. And it's a shame because I really enjoyed that chapter. I had some great times. There were ups and downs, and it took me on a journey. But the 7th of March, when I did this exercise, it was like I just turned a new page and a new chapter had started. And it made me just excited for life, and made me really excited about really going all into the work, which I've been really thinking about for years, and, you know, really catalyzed what I'm doing right now. And so I think I'm going to just leave this first part there, really. It's just what I'm about to share with you. I did this personally. It changed my life. It just helped me really bounce back from that moment, and, you know, in the space of a few days, and really just gave me that fuel to move forward. And rather than this be baggage in my life, it actually became fuel. And I used this the other day, which I share in this next clip, with a friend who's just gone through a breakup and reached out. And I'm really inspired to share what worked for me, what worked for him, and also just the big insights he got, because it kind of moved me to tears, and there's a moment in the video. But that's it. So without further ado, I'm going to play the next clip. All right, let's get into it. This is the practical stuff. So this is what I feel is really going to help you. This is what helped me with my breakup. This is what I'm about to share with you. This is exactly what I did with my friend literally last week. And so I'm really hoping this is valuable here and useful. So let me explain first. This is you, and you're in the present moment. You are watching this video right now. You're in the present. You're not watching this video in the past, and you're not watching this video in the future. You're here right now, present. Now, your mind, however, your mind has the ability to go back into the past or project itself into the future. And that's sort of represented here horizontally on these vectors. And also, as a human being, you have positive and negative emotions, positive and negative moments. You can have the highs and the lows. And you can really dwell on all the good times in the past, and also dwell on all the bad times and all the challenges you had in the past. And you can also do the same. You can sort of fantasize and dream and envision all the good things which is going to happen to you in the future. But also what you can do is you can project yourself forward, and you can sort of dwell and worry and overthink and have fear about the negatives in the future. So you're here in the present, but your mind can go in lots of different places, past or future, and it can go positive or negative. Now, you in this present moment, if you're watching this video and you've had a breakup, probably can bet you're probably feeling quite negative. And I've used a scale here, this is kind of like a ladder, and you can sort of rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how upset, how emotional, how sad, how low you feel on a scale of 1 to 10. It could be quite mild. It could be really extreme. You're really down. You're really depressed. You're almost grieving the loss of your partner. There's probably a few of you who might not even be that. You might be the other way. You might be, hell yeah, ecstatic. You might be like, what a relief. I'm glad this person's out of my life. But if you're watching this, I'm probably going to assume you're down here. Now, what's probably going on in your mind is you're probably dwelling on the past, and you're probably conscious of all the good times. So your mind is focused probably somewhere here. Let's just say it's here. You in your mind with the breakup, the reason why you're upset is because you're just focused on all the good times. Like, man, we had such great times together, and now I don't have this person anymore. I really miss that. I miss all the things we did in the past which were positive. And what you're probably doing is you're probably in this present moment, you're obviously feeling quite negative, but also you're probably projecting that into the future, and you're probably having a little bit of like this anxiety or worry or just these negative feelings about how life's going to be. It's not going to be the same, and how am I going to live life without my partner or the person who I thought was the love of my life, my soulmate. So where your mind is you're probably thinking about all the good times you had, and you miss that, and you're probably here presently somewhere negative, but also in the future you're probably also putting that forward too. And no wonder you're feeling this way, because what's going on in your mind is you have an imbalance. You have an imbalanced perspective or judgment, and you're not seeing the full picture, right? So you, as a human being, you go through positives and negatives, ups and downs, highs and lows. And right now you're in the low, but you're kind of overlooking, or you can't really see in this moment, the good. I'm not wearing it right now, but I have a necklace which is yin and yang, because it's not so much I believe, but more so I'm certain that there's two sides to everything. Something's called polarity, where there's the ups and downs, the highs and lows, past and future, hot, cold, night, day, man, woman. You get it. Two sides to everything. And with everything, including your breakup, there's two sides to it. There's good and bad. So what's really going to help you, and you might be anticipating this, is there's actually two things you can do. Now, 3 years ago, at the time of recording, this is 2024, and when I broke up with my partner, or my partner broke up with me, don't get me wrong, in that moment, I was an emotional wreck. I remember calling my family, my dad, my mom, and my sister, and I was just an absolute wreck. I was here. After that, because I knew this stuff would help me, and so I literally got out a pen and pad, and I did this, which I'm about to share with you. Is I basically just asked one question. I just said, what are the benefits? What's the good? Because I was here, and what I needed to do was, and this is important, you don't want to go up here. The goal is not to get here. The goal is to get here, in the middle, balanced, neutral, objective, grateful, inspired, enthusiastic for your life, not dwelling. Because this is ecstasy. This is elation. This is depression. You don't want to go here, because then this will bring you back down here, and you bipolar responses. You want to go here. And so with me, I was down here. And so all I did was I just asked the question, what's the benefits of this breakup? What are the positives here? what does this mean for me now? And I basically just stacked benefits. And it's not like you just do the question, you're like, well, it means this. Your job, depending on your scale, is you need to just basically keep looking for the positives as much as you can. You just need to keep stacking, keep stacking, keep stacking until you get all the way here. Until you're not dwelling, you're not really upset, you're not really crying. You know, yes, the negatives there, and this is not erasing the negatives. There are negatives here. There are some things which are going to be, you know, tough now, and there are some things you've got to do alone, and that's going to be hard. And there's all these, there's these downsides, but there's also upsides. And you right now, you're watching this, and you may not feel this is possible, but it's there. You've just got to look for it. And there's plenty of positives in the situation, but you've just got to bring it into your awareness. And this is why asking questions can be so powerful, because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. And if you just look for the other side, and if you just look, what's the benefits of this? What are the positives here? What are the upsides which I'm not seeing? And you just keep answering the question. You look and you look and you look, and you look all around the areas of life. You look about what's really important to you. How's this going to help me with what's most important to me? How's it going to help my vocation? How's it going to help my finances? How's it going to help my health? How's it going to help me spiritually? How's it going to help me socially and with family? How's it going to help me with my wisdom, my knowledge, and my personal development? You just start looking at different aspects, and you just look for the positives, and you bring yourself from a 10 to a 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Not here, here. I guarantee you're going to be feeling differently compared to how you're feeling now, or how you've been feeling in the past. And so it's as simple as that. It is literally as simple as that. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So here's some things. I'm going to give 3 tips on what can really help here. Actually 4. The first thing is, do this on a pen and pad. Get a pen and pad out. Do not do this in your head. Get a pen and pad out. Get a Word document. Get something and write this out. Because I promise you, the one thing I wrote this down, but I lost it. And I wish I didn't lose it, because this would be so good to share with people right now, to show people this is what helped me. This will help you. Have a look. But anyway, write this down. But some tips is, yes, look for the positives, but also counterbalance this. Because as I said, you're probably in the past and you think about all the good times, and you're probably in the future and you're thinking about all the bad times, or the bad times which are going to happen because you've had the separation. So a tip is, you're looking for the benefits, but what you can do specifically is you can actually look for the future positives. So now you've separated. What does this mean for you in the future now? What does this mean you can look forward to? So for me, I was really focusing on my business, my coaching at the time. And the separation meant, well, now I can go all in on my business. I don't have to sort of sacrifice my time here and divide it between the business, my coaching, and my partner at the time. I can put everything in here. So what does that look like for you? What are the future things you can look forward to now? The future positives. So it's just basically, wherever your head's at, just do the opposite. It's as simple as that. So, you know, your head is thinking about, oh God, the future is going to be so shit. Well, don't think like that. Do the opposite. What can you look forward to in the future? And just start asking, what are the benefits? But what are the benefits I'm going to experience? What are the positives I know I can look forward to now because I'm single, because of this breakup? So that's a tip. That's one tip. The second tip is, and this is what I did with my friend on the call the other day, is you can kind of do the benefits and you can stack them up, but nothing's really like kind of clicking. You know, you can be kind of indifferent, like, yeah, I can see the benefits. I can see, you know, there's a lot of good from this, but I'm still really upset. I still wish I had her or him, you know, whatever. And the reason why is because your head is so stuck in the past, and you're just so focused on these positives. You're still dwelling on the good times in the past. And what you're probably doing is you're not looking, or you're not aware at this current moment of all the bad times, all the negatives that came with the relationship, all the sacrifices you had to make, all the costs financially or with your time. And so another thing you can do, another way which will help you, is you look for the benefits in your situation and what you can look forward to, but also you can look at, well, when I was in the relationship, because this is the benefits of you being single now, or you've broken up, but you can kind of do the exact same thing. I can't remember the exact term, but there's a famous investor who's passed away now. His name's Charlie Munger. He called it inversion thinking. I'm not sure if that's right, but it's basically, you're answering the same similar question, but in a different way. So rather than focusing on the benefits of you being single or the breakup, you can sort of flip it and you go, well, when I was in the relationship, yes, there's all this good stuff which you're missing, hence why you're feeling this way. But what were all the things which you're overlooking right now? All the bad times, all the lows, all the arguments you had, all the challenges, all the lies, all the cheating, or the whatever. You're overlooking that. So what you can also do is you can start counterbalancing all the things you're dwelling on, all the good times which you're grieving, because grief can be the perception of loss of that which you're infatuated with, which is this: I've lost out on all the good things this person did for me. They did or didn't do, all these traits, actions, inactions, which I was infatuated with. I don't have that anymore, and that's literally grief. So what can help with that is this: well, when you're in the relationship, what wasn't so great? What were the downsides? What were the negatives? And when you do this and you bring yourself here, the emotion's going to change. Your feelings are going to change. You're not going to be sad and low and depressed. If you get to this space here, not here, just here, where you're grounded, you're centered, you're objective, you can see both sides, and you really do this thoroughly, till you get to this point where literally you get a tear in the eye, you get goosebumps, you get the, oh my God. When you get there, I guarantee you're not going to be feeling the way you're feeling right now. Because I did this. And this helped me move forward. This helped me bring back enthusiasm in my life and gave me purpose. As soon as I did this, it felt like I've turned the page, and that chapter of my book ended, and I'm on a new chapter. It helped me get out of the past, and it helped me be present with my situation, helped me deal with that, but also it helped me really look forward to what's to come, the next chapter for me. This works. And I did this with a friend the other day. I did exactly this. And the biggest insight, which I'm going to share here with my friend, is the one thing he realized was, well, the benefits now being separated is he's starting to go to the gym more consistently. He's not sacrificing the gym anymore. Consistently going to the gym, looking after himself, prioritizing himself. And work, not sacrificing work, being able to put everything into work, which is really important to him right now. And he's on track to progress and become a leader in his job. And he's a great leader, loves leading people, you can tell. And that means more money for him. Also, really loves socializing. And now he's single. He can go and do what he wants. He can go hang out with his mates. Had all these incredible times with his mates recently since the breakup. And basically the insight we got was he's now prioritizing himself. He's really prioritizing him, not sacrificing himself for the partner. And when we did this, we looked at, well, in the relationship, what were the negatives? And it was basically the opposite. Couldn't see my friends so much. I actually couldn't see some of my friends because my partner at the time got upset and jealous. Sometimes skipped out on the gym, which is sacrificing health and what's important to him. See the partner, hang out with the partner, comfort eating, all that stuff. I've been there. But also, sometimes it got in the way of work. Didn't make a good impression. And so the key insight we got was my friend realized he wasn't prioritizing himself in the relationship, putting the partner first, not him. And now he's realizing that he's putting himself first. And I asked a question: when was the last time you prioritized yourself like you are now? And I'm getting teary. He, goosebumps. He said, never. I've never prioritized myself. And so in that moment, he could see that the breakup previously in his perception was a crisis. He was in crisis mode. What am I going to do in my life? I spent the last 5-6 years with this individual. And can't see a way forward. The first time he could actually see that what he thought was a crisis was actually a blessing. Finally, for the first time in his life, he's putting himself first. And I'm certain that you can get deep insights too if you do this as well. Now, it's as simple as this. It's not easy. So, if you feel this is going to help you and you would like some assistance with this, maybe you want to try this, or you've tried this, you've watched the video, you've tried it, and you're not getting anywhere, you just can't do it, and you would like some assistance with doing this, this is what I do. This is coaching. I help people see things which they're not able to see, to help them move forward and become the best versions of themselves. So if you're struggling with this, you want some help with this, shoot me a message, and also put yourself on my coaching waitlist. Join the coaching waitlist. So when I actually have some spots available, if you would like to work with me in a long-term capacity, I'll let you know and see if we're a fit and potentially could really make some massive change in your life. So that's it. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know if you do this, if it helps. I'd love to know what insights you've got. Make sure to like the video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe. I'm really sorry that it's getting dark, so you might not be able to see me. But also, I would love to know, what do you find most valuable or useful from this video in particular? Whatever that is, put it in the comments. I'd love to know. And I'll see you on the next video.